Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I am your host, June Archer. This is the Winner Circle, and today's guest really needs no introduction. She is a singer, songstress, songwriter, actress. She is when I tell you this interview, if you don't tell a friend to tell a friend, I don't even need to introduce her, but I'm going to. She is now playing in an amazing show featured by All Black. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome to the show, Miss Kelly Price. Kelly, how you doing?
Hello, I am great. I feel great.
You look great.
Thank you. I'm on a la carte. What else do I need to say?
New show, a la carte.
Yes.
How does it feel to be in the show? This is one of the producers, one of our sisters, Megan Good.
Yes.
The show is successful. People are loving it.
They're loving it.
How do you feel? You play the mom, Lyric Rose.
Yes.
The name is so befitting.
When I saw that I was playing someone named Lyric, I was like, hey.
Because we all know, if anybody knows anything about Kelly Price, when it comes to that pen, you put it on the paper and you talk about songwriting, you are the one. How does it feel to play Lyric Rose in this amazing show called A La Carte?
You know what? I had a lot of fun in season one. Like, I got all of my scenes done in a day. So I didn't get a chance to be on set with every single character. But I do love who I play in this, in that I am supposed to be like that mom who is very much so, she loves her daughter. She gives her advice, but low key, not so low key. She's still trying to figure out some stuff herself and not involve her daughter. And I think that Mahogany is catching up on it, but she's trying to focus on being a mom and handle what she has going on at the same time. I love that this is a millennial dramedy that gives us a bird's eye view into the struggles and the conflicts that this generation has when they come of age. They come of age and they're trying to figure out not just what they're going to do with their lives, but what their relationships are going to look like, their friend circles, what that looks like, putting things and people in pockets and making life-altering decisions, much in the same way we had to. I keep saying this for our generation. Maybe we watched Girlfriends. In other cultures, maybe their thing was Sex in the City. But every generation has, and now they have their thing that they can go to watch and see themselves.
And that's important. I want to ask you this. How important is bridging that gap with the generations as we talk about our young women of color and what they're dealing with today, as opposed to what we dealt with back in the day? Not that there's too many differences, but we have the social media aspect where a lot of Black and brown girls don't feel pretty. They feel the anxiety and the stress of wanting to keep up. Why is it important to bridge this gap with shows like A La Carte?
I think that this show succeeds at showing what we felt when the generation before us was like, what is wrong with you kids? They hated our music. They hated our choice of clothes, music. Like, we did nothing. There was nothing we can do that was right. And a lot of us that have children that are in this generation, we have had those same conversations. Oh, hypocrites we are.
Right.
So it's important to be able to bridge the generational gap. And I even think that for the parents of millennials, they should watch this show. It may help them understand their own children better.
Do you see Kelly Price in Lyric Rose, and do you see Kelly Price in Mahogany when you see this show?
There's more Kelly probably in Mahogany than in her mom. And the only thing I can say about that is you would have to continue to watch and wait for season 2.
Do you feel you've grown as an actress with this series, and can we see more of Kelly Price on the silver screen, and even seeing you hopefully maybe Oscar, maybe Emmy? Like, where do you
Come
see
on, speak
yourself?
it.
I'm gonna go ahead and speak it into
I'm
existence.
gonna receive all of it
Oh,
because I'm
I'm gonna
working
give it to
towards
you.
all of
I'm gonna
it.
give it to you. It's a matter if you want to receive it.
I'm working towards all of that. So I would say yes, yes, and yes again.
Now, while you were preparing for this, were there any other mentors that you looked to gain inspiration in order to dive into this character? And if so, who were they?
So, to be very honest with you, about what year is this? Is 2022. So, in 2016, after I started Saints and Sinners, I was like, I really like acting and I don't like being the dumb girl in the room. So I got an acting coach and I dived in and I took about 6 months off from doing shows so that I could be in a physical classroom with this coach twice a week. Um, and it was the best decision that I could have ever made because it didn't just increase me and grow me in something that came naturally. It also gave me the chutzpah, I guess, to decide that I can take it even further and be the girl behind the camera as well. So I'm
I love
speaking
that.
that into
I
existence.
love that. The journey of a musician or anyone in the music and entertainment business has its twists and turns.
Hmm.
And then you throw in COVID. For
Yeah.
you, what was the thing or things that you learned about Kelly Price that you were able to add another
Oh,
tool in your tool belt during the pandemic?
the most important thing I believe I learned is that life is precious. And like we hear it all the time. We hear it all the time. Anybody that followed my journey knows that I had a very bad case of COVID. My left lung can, now I'm saying this to you, you sing, so you understand what I'm saying. My left lung was 100% diminished. My
Mm,
right lung was 90% diminished. And as far as the doctors were concerned, any recovery that I had would not be Kelly Price pre COVID.
right. Not 100%.
Um, not 100%. I was still on oxygen in October, and I was singing the national anthem at a Clippers game in December. So no one will ever be able to tell me what hard work and prayer can't do. The thing that I've learned the most is that you get this life, it's a gift, and live it unapologetically. I think if you're not doing anything intentionally and something that's going to hurt someone, you have the right to live your life intentionally doing what makes you happy. That
Hmm.
was my takeaway from COVID.
I love that. But how do you, for someone who is struggling with that, Kelly, like someone
Yes.
people are anxiety is now a thing, mental health is now a thing.
Yes.
How do you unapologetically walk in your black girl magic and walk in your dopeness that someone who's listening or watching today can say, I can take that. I want to use that. I receive that. And they want to try to at least emulate what it is that Kelly Price does to be able to walk in those spaces and places with a head held up high with a smile on her face.
I am going to walk back to the beginning of
Okay.
your statement and just say this, not to even disagree with you, but to enhance what you said. I don't think COVID brought out the mental health, the mental health awareness or necessity thing. I think it magnified what was already there and it made us even more so realize that it is something that deserves our attention. If we can go get a well woman or well man checkup once a year to make sure everything is going, we should do that with our mind as well. We should check in on ourselves and on each other on a regular basis because life happens and it's not easy. Just so much, when I tell you, so many nuggets, so many nuggets.
Well, I want to talk about those nuggets.
Yes,
For someone who is going through it and they're trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel,
yes,
what has been, we were just talking about it backstage that, 30 years in the music business
yes,
and a very well-known name. When we talk about R&B, we talk about good music, we talk about soul music. Kelly Price is one that rings out and is very consistent in those conversations. But
yes.
for you, has there been any advice that you've been given that allowed you, we talked about pray, but has there been advice, nuggets that you've been given that allowed you to live your best life, even when things seemed a little bleak or things slow up? We know in the music business, you're hot when you're hot, and then sometimes, for some people, you're not. But for those people who are looking for the light at the end of the tunnel, looking for some direction, what was the best
Yeah.
piece of advice you've been given that you've held on to that you use whenever you need a little pick me up.
First, let me say this. I am a woman of faith and I do believe in prayer, but I believe that faith without works is dead. So you can
Mm,
pray all day long, but when you finish praying, get up off your knees and do something, right?
mm.
So it is everybody's responsibility to educate themselves. If music is what you want to do, if sports is what you want to do, what if producing is what you want to do, learn everything about it. My journey wasn't glamorous because I was told I would never fit in because of the way I looked, even though I had the talent. But while I was on that journey, I learned every job along the way. I learned how to be an engineer. I learned how to be a
Yes,
producer. I was
yes,
writing the songs. I
yes.
was doing background on the songs. I was on the road with people. So I learned what road life was like. And when I finally got that yes that made sense for Kelly Price, when opportunity showed up, preparation had already been made.
Mm,
So I tell people, prepare yourself for what it is that you say you want. And it may not be right in front of you. It takes time sometimes. But I think that the most tragic thing that could ever happen is that you pray and you want something so bad and it finally shows up and you're not ready to receive it.
yeah, I say it often. Stay ready so you don't have to
So
never
you
have
don't
to
have
get
to get
ready.
ready. Yeah,
Right? It's a
yeah,
real thing. And
it's a real
and the
thing.
one thing that they say, especially in sports, is the best ability is availability. So when that
Availability.
opportunity knocks, are you going to
Yes.
open the door, or are you going to look
Listen,
through the peephole? Which one? What are you going to do?
absolutely.
What is your
Absolutely.
why, Kelly? What is your why? Why do you continue to do this for so many years?
If not me, then who?
Mm,
If not now, then when? I have to walk out this journey, not selfishly, but with the understanding that what I was sent into the earth, into this suit to do, can and will only be accomplished by me because that's my assignment. And if I don't do it, then it's an epic fail. It's
right,
a huge epic fail. So I have to approach every single thing like, what do you mean, why? You don't have a choice.
right,
If you don't, there's somebody out there, some little girl, some little boy, somebody who was homeless like you were, somebody who was talented but has been told you don't have the stuff that it takes to make it. They won't have that example to push themselves just a little bit harder because some people don't have that example in their lives directly. But with social media, some of the good stuff of social media is that you can put your eyes on people who are out there doing it and doing it the right way, and you can model them and go for it. And so that's why I keep going. People's standards can change. People can choose to do things with little to no integrity. That will never be me. So someone will be able to say, they won't be able to say, well, everybody's out there doing that. That's not true.
right.
Somebody is out there doing it the right way. You just have to decide that that's the person you want to model.
Oh, I love it. I've been playing this game called University of Dope. It's an amazing game. It's for the culture. There's now an R&B edition to this
Okay, let's go.
game.
Let's go.
And
Let's go.
ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play University of Dope, the anatomy of R&B with the
I don't know
one
if
and
I'm
only
ready.
Kelly Price. There are no wrong answers.
Okay.
Unpopular opinions are welcome, and you only
Okay.
have the opportunity to pass once,
Gotcha.
should you feel the need to do so. So, ladies
Okay.
and gentlemen, University of Dope with Kelly Price. Here we go. The best double entendre from the following: is it A, Rain by SWV, B, Pony by Genuine, C, Rock the Boat by Aaliyah, or D, Peaches and Cream by
Rain.
112?
Rain. Rain by SWV.
Kelly, who hurt you? The best breakup song from the following: is it A, Unbreak My Heart by Tony Braxton, B, Nobody's Supposed to Be There by Deborah Cox, C, Before You Walk Out of My Life, Monica, or D, The One I Gave My Heart to, Aaliyah?
Okay, so I'm just going to give this disclaimer and say that I love absolutely every one of those songs. My writing and production partner, Shep Crawford, wrote and produced Nobody's Supposed to Be Here for Deborah Cox. But I love Tony, and I actually did a tribute to her singing Unbreak My Heart a couple of years ago. So I would say Unbreak My Heart with Nobody's Supposed to Be Here as a close second.
I love it. Bye Bye Best song to give your man the boot. A, Caught You Out There, I Hate You So Much Right Now by Khalees. B, Irreplaceable by Beyonce. C, Take a Bow, Rihanna. Or D, Tyrone by Erykah Badu.
Tyrone.
Mm, you already
All
know.
day long.
You already know.
And you can't use my phone.
Can I get your number, Kelly? The best song to shoot your shot. Is it A, Can't We Talk, Tevin Campbell? B, Come and Talk to Me by Jodeci? C, Yo by Chris Brown? Or D, Just a Friend by Mario?
Man, hard, but I'm going to have to go with B, Come and Talk to Me by Jodeci.
All right. The best baby making song from the following. Is it A,
okay.
So Anxious by Genuine? B, When We by Tank? C, Say Yes, Floetry? Or D, Meeting in My Bedroom by Silk?
For me, it's C, Say Yes.
All right. The best song you should not have been singing as a child. Is it A, Freak Like Me, Adina Howard? B, I Want to Sex You Up by Color Me Bad? C, Too Close by Next? Or D, Freaking You by Jodeci?
Well, if we're talking about me personally, it was As We Lay, so I turned around and recorded it when I became an adult. But from that list of songs, I would say freaking the Adina Howard record, Freak Like Me.
All right. All right.
Yes.
Here we go. Choose the best non-singing singer from the following.
Oh, Jesus.
Is it A, Keith Sweat? B, Alicia Off Keys? Is it C, Slim from 112? Or D,
Y'all going to hell.
Jennifer Lopez or Shanti?
Y'all going to hell.
Hey,
Y'all going
I'm
to hell.
listen, I didn't make this game up. I'm just
okay. Listen, no, I'm going to give an answer because I agreed to play the game. And Keith, I love you, but I'm going to tell you something. If y'all want to talk about that man not being able to sing, he done banned his way into history. So apparently he knew something that everybody else didn't.
Exactly. He did Baby Jew all the way
did
to
that thing.
Millions of records.
Did that thing.
All right, Kelly, you mentioned it, but now I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Yes, sir.
The best side chick anthem from the following. Is it A, You're the One by SWV? Is it B, As We Lay by Kelly Price? C, My Little Secret by Escape? Or D, The Weeknd by SZA?
I'm going to say it's B, As We Lay by Kelly Price.
Oh, man, I think
originally recorded by Shirley Murdoch. Yes.
Shout out to Shirley Murdoch. If you had to erase one from hip-hop, actually R&B history, who would it be? If you had to. Is it A, Chris Brown?
R&B history?
B, Neo? C, Justin Timberlake? Or D, Usher?
Justin.
All right. If you had to erase one from R&B history, who would it be? A, Janet Jackson, B, Beyonce, C, Mariah Carey, or D, Whitney Houston?
I couldn't erase any of them. I'll be honest with you. They all have been huge contributors, and they're all on my playlist.
Is this a pass, Kelly Price? Is this the official pass?
It's not a pass. I'm just saying that I think that you don't have anybody on there that deserves to be erased.
Wow. That's the first time. That's the first time. All right. Erase one group from R&B history. Would it be A, 112, B, Jodeci, C, Drew Hill, or D, Jagged Edge?
From R&B history? I got connections to all these groups, and they have legitimate history.
We do.
Y'all needed an E.
E?
Each one of these groups has stamped a place in history. So my lawyer mind is saying, if the real question is R&B history, they are in R&B history, and they can't be erased.
I love you. I love the politically correct answer. The best R&B soundtrack from the following is A, Waiting to Exhale, B, Soul Food, C, Love Jones, or D, The Bodyguard?
Man, I love them all. And Whitney is my girl. But I'm going with Waiting to Exhale, which she was a part of anyway. Waiting to Exhale because it included so many amazing artists and had so many great songs and had us all in our feelings.
Who would you have sing out the cookout this summer? Is it A, John B, Pink when she was black, C, Adele, or D, Justin Bieber?
I wrote for her when she was black.
You sure did.
I did.
Who's singing at the cookout?
Okay. We said we have John B, we have Pink, we have
Adele and Justin Bieber.
And Justin Bieber, John B.
All right.
John B.
Which artist would you have sing at your funeral? Is it A,
Mhm.
Fantasia, B, Jennifer Hudson, C, Jasmine Sullivan, or D, Faith Evans?
I would ask, oh man, I would want them to be a super group and just go off. But if I had to pick one, I would say Fantasia because I would tell myself she gonna take us all the way to Churchville when
And
she's finished singing.
you know that's right. If
Hmm.
you could pick one artist to bring back for a one night only concert, who would it be? A, Luther Vandross, B, Whitney Houston, C, Prince, or D, Michael Jackson?
That's very hard. But if I am to be totally transparent, I would absolutely love to see Whitney come back and do it one last time.
All right. Last one, Kelly Price.
Mhm.
You are performing at the world famous Apollo Theater. Which song are you singing so you don't get booed? Is it
Mhm.
Never Would Have Made It by Marvin Sapp? B, All Fall Down by Donnie McClurkin? C, Shackles by Mary Mary? Or D, Melodies from Heaven, Kirk Franklin and Family?
Never would have made it. Easy.
Never would have made it.
Because you get
Kelly,
to get all the, you got to know the Apollo audience.
you know that's right.
You got
One
to know
wrong
the
note,
Apollo audience.
one wrong note, and that's all she wrote.
It's not even that. Like if you talk about Kirk or if you talk about Mary Mary, you got to be worried about jumping around and bouncing around and choreo. They don't want to hear all of that. They want you to sing. Stand flat footed and sing that song by Marvin Sapp, and it's a wrap.
Music is a soundtrack to our lives, and you have contributed so many
Thank you.
wonderful songs that are a part of our soundtrack. But for you, what song or artist best represents your journey up to this point?
Ooh, gosh. There is no one artist. I really want to say it's our era.
Mm,
If I had to take two, three, okay, we'll say two, just from the songs and the lyrics. Um, you could get a good chunk of my life written between Mary J. Blige's music and Faith Evans' music.
wow, that's
Yeah,
beautiful. That's beautiful. I really thank you
absolutely.
for sharing that, Kelly. I know that anyone who's watching and listening is going to be blessed. And I got to give you your flowers. You wrote on our Room Service album many
I
years
did.
ago and blessed us.
I did. Thank
An
you.
amazing project, and you worked with our producer All Star. What an
Yes,
amazing combination. Thank you for your contribution to music. We
I
appreciate your
am.
contribution to acting now, and I know
Yes,
that you will do well because the creative arts is where it is, and a lot of our young people are interested. I just started the June Archer School of Arts, and I'd like to ask you, why is it important to make sure that we provide arts and creative arts for our young people?
we have to. It's an outlet. It's an outlet. You know, when we were coming along, and I think you could probably agree with this, they told a lot of kids who thought creatively as opposed to scientifically, they were categorized as ADHD or they were bad or they were whatever. When you're a creative, your mind is constantly going. There are things that are constantly coming to you. And you had people who were teaching us that did not understand that because they had scientific minds. I want my hair to do what it's supposed to do. They had scientific minds. I love that we are in a day where creative children are not only being acknowledged, but they are being nurtured. That's so very important. Some of the most important things have come from the lives and the minds of creatives, and it will continue to be that way until the end of time. So I embrace it, I push it, I encourage it, and I am grateful for every child that has the opportunity to get what we perhaps did not during that time. You know, we kind of hustled up for it. We embraced the radio. If there was a choir in school, if there were plays in school, if we went to church, that's where we got it. But there weren't programs that were brought to us specifically for that reason. So, congratulations to you. Kudos to you for recognizing that and doing that for young people. And we need to see a lot more of it.
We do, and I hope to get you in one of the classrooms. It is virtual and hybrid.
Yes.
We'd love to have you speaking to our young people about your journey and what it means to work hard and put the work in. Like you said, when
Yes.
you stay ready, you never have to get
You
ready.
don't have to get
Uh,
ready.
Kelly, we are so proud of you. We love
Thank
what you're
you.
doing. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you take the time out to watch this show. You're
Yes.
going to see Lyric Rose in a role of a lifetime because it is
Yes.
played by the wonderful Kelly Price. The show is called A la Carte on All Black.
Thursday
Tune in,
nights.
subscribe, and where can we
Binge
follow you?
it.
Can we love you?
Tomorrow night is the finale for the season. So if you have not started, you have time to catch up.
And where can we follow you? What can we do to support what you're doing these days?
You can follow me always on Instagram. That's MSKELLYPRICE. There are a lot of other Kelly Prices out there, so make sure you look for the blue check because I do not go in your inbox and ask you for money. Um, that's the best place to follow me. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter at Kelly Price, the number 4 real. And on Facebook, it's the blue check Kelly Price official. But I probably spend more time on Instagram than anything.
Well, there may be a lot of Kelly Prices out there, but there's only one that steals our heart, and it is you.
I
Sister, we
appreciate
love
that.
you. We're
Thank
praying
you.
for you. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm so glad that you're doing much better
Thank
through
you so
battling
much, sir.
COVID. And we're going to be checking out the season finale. Ladies and gentlemen,
Please
that is
do.
Kelly Price, the
Thank you.
amazing singer, songwriter, actress, and all around beautiful Black woman.
Thank you, sir.
Listen, tell somebody you love them. It may be the last time you have the opportunity to do so.
This is true.
I'm your host, June Archer. This is the Winner Circle. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless y'all. Peace.
Thank you.